Haha! Ciao nice people! Welcome to the stream. Why do I feel like I'm far from the intended spot? Wait, I messed up the resolution of the window. Let's see. Should be something like this, I suppose? Okay. You can... wait, there are numbers in front of me. I can't see well. Get away! Get away, numbers! You're annoying! Maybe something like this. Okay. Go away, numbers. Yeah, we are in. China's people, welcome. We are finally back developing our main project. Well, technically it's the main project after putting aside the main project while putting aside another main project. It's complicated, okay? And hello Fortuna Street, welcome. Don't forget to say hello to the nice effect. Well, now I won't anymore. Yeah, I was about to. I was just doing an introduction. So, I see. Sure, let's go for the for the redeem. For the waifu Russian roulette. At this point, I'm almost used to. I would say, wait, I forgot a thing. Okay. I would say almost used to, but let's go. So, okay, we got this one already. Is this another one actually? Because she's slightly upset that she wasn't upset in the other ones. But yeah, I will give you a free one. And we got, she's Emma Sky, right, from Ace Attorney Investigations, or like the grown-up version from Ace Attorney. Huh, I remember her only from her glasses. Otherwise would be kinda hard to remember. Honestly, I even forgot I downloaded this one just to make any difference from any other picture here. And I don't know how I even had or I even found this picture since Ace Attorney wasn't really this big in the platforms. Or at least the fan art. I don't know, maybe when I look on socials, it's not that frequent seeing Ace Attorney fan art. So it's a surprise in a way. Okay. So, we are here on the game. We have some things to do on stream. Now I'm keeping some sort of here I'm using Trello. I won't show you the content because I think there could be some spoilers. There probably are. But here I'm storing information. I can show you like an example, for example in Artisio. For example, I'm having every note things to do gameplay and stuff. So I can sort what I need to do for the game. And especially I tagged the things that I could do on stream. I don't remember which color. Yeah, implement the animations for the characters and line up the falling cage. I think we can start with the animations. They're all too focused on Maya and the clown girl for a certain period for whatever reason. Since there seems that there isn't any nice fairy worth salutating, here's a fire kick. Okay, come on, why is it always my fault? I saw myself flying away, what is this? Come on! Let me turn back real quick. I'm here, okay, good. I should at least have the opportunity to add a counter attack. I think I need it. Okay, then we are gonna experiment on the battles. Do we have one here? No. What is this one? Huh, okay, we may want to work on our plugin a little. I don't think this will be easy actually, but we're gonna try. the thing I want to do is... I wonder if I have a video of what I want exactly. I definitely have, but I don't know if it's worth to look for it for a moment. Maybe this meme, let's see. There is a meme which can even work. Aha! Something like this. I want a character to do something like this. Like, it's simple, technically, because we already programmed a similar animation last time. And should be stretching vertically means expanding the Y scale and shrinking the X scale. And then doing the opposite. That should be enough to make this animation. I want this way slower. I don't think we can change the speed. I want this way slower, so we don't need, at least for the demo, or if it's good, we are gonna keep it for the final game. So we won't need to make the animation frame by frame for the character, and it's just an idle animation of him wobbling up and down. You did, I was at best there making fun of you. Well, glad you find enjoyment in my streams, at least. But I'm gonna counter now with programming. Okay, you said you didn't mind it, but seeing someone make programming and getting it wrong is way worse. I promise. Okay, first of all, we open our plugin. I think it's split in two plugins, unfortunately. This will be a little chaotic, I feel like. Because we need to make two plugins I made compatible with each other. And it's never a good idea to implement things after doing them. First, we have forever functions and practical pictures. Which also use this one for ambiguous wording. This simple plugin. It's simple because you can just set a position of a picture without defining it every time. So if the picture is not there, it creates it, and if it's already there, it moves it. Very convenient. So what do we need? We need to go on battle pick, which is kinda shorter than I expected, so it won't be that hard, right? And we should procure ourselves a battle. Oh, let's see, we can go with this one. And we see if the load works. So we can have an instant place where to check. The first time takes longer. I don't get though why when opening Steam, RPG Maker games the first time don't launch. Save 2. Where is my enemy? It's not here. Ah, it spawns later, okay. Well, we can default this save file and have this one already on. Okay, here's our battle. As you can see, everything is very stiff. We should at least have the characters do the animation. We have a problem that characters have way much more space in the picture than they are. For example, the tank Sober Slime has a lot of empty space below him. You can see only from the picture though. Though at least Fazay is fine. So what do we want to do? I think we already did it on the witch, right? Like this test witch. Yeah, you can see the slime going smaller and bigger. Ah no, wait. Yeah, because that's made with pictures. Never mind. We don't need this. So we already programmed this thing, which is not even easy to identify with what we need to do. Like the buttons here. If you press them wrong, why there's not? Well, we should take things slowly. We have a lot of programming to do. So, one thing first, we want a wobbling animation for pictures. Though the pictures are peculiar because they are bound in a specific way. Here. The battle pictures are bound in this way, that of pictures for battle. And this is important to store because this saves the relative value of the picture, which will later drawn in an absolute way. That means we may want to transpose this in the other plugin and make groups of pictures. Let's see if we can. So, we should, yeah, let's make it here. For group of pictures. Simple. So, for example, we will have a group 1, which will contain picture 1, then picture 2, and so on. And then we won't really use this, but we can technically have a group 2 with picture 3 and so on. I just thought, well, since we are saving a group of pictures, why not implement it to be a group of groups, right? Okay. So how do we refer to this thing? Good question. So, we need to move all of these in the other side. But luckily, most of the things are just redundant here. Because you can just define a picture ID, define whatever parameter you want. Even none of them. And we'll do different things. Like, if you define the scale, it will only change the scale. If you define only the X, it will only move the picture. You can also define a relative X to move it in one direction. But we also need group. The new parameter group, which will be used now. Okay. We should move them side by side to compare those, because they basically have the same function now. We define picture ID, the time movement, destination. Wait, we need to watch this a little closer. Because, yeah, this one actually works differently. It's a little more in a way, this has a slightly different mechanism. The movement. While this movement, the movement of the plugin of pictures, just uses the default move picture of RPG Maker, this one has a custom way to move pictures. What is it? Frame by frame, it moves the picture by one. Because in this way, if we move the container of the picture, we can adapt it on the go. Though it makes the code much more complex. That's why we can make that only if the group value is defined, only then we are gonna move the picture frame by frame. So we already have this thing sorted out. Let's see. How do I check? Yeah. The group. If group, or we can just make group is, I like this function, question mark, like, is group defined? If it is, then, no, wait, if it's not defined. Okay, we can make that the group is 0 if it's not defined. So we can now at least compare numbers. Group, no wait, group. Okay. Okay, so now we have a way to distinguish the two type of pictures. If the group is 0, we move it the normal way. If it's a group, if it's more than 0, then we're gonna move it frame by frame. Let's see if the rest is similar now. Should be. So first gets all the information of the picture, which this is already different. Because again, if it's not a group, the pictures are just still. They are just in that point on the screen and that's it. That's why we can get the information of the picture in this way. Though, if there is a group, we are storing the information of the pictures in the group information. That means we are reading the information of the picture from there, not from the group. We can even make this readable in either ways, because now we have the problem that if it's a normal picture, we read the picture origin, scale X, scale Y in this way. Though, if it's a picture in a group, we need to read them from a group, like value 20, 22, 55, 32, and those are clearly not readable in this way. They are not readable picture.scale_y, though we can arrange it that we read them in the same way. Let me make an example. If we save the picture in the group 1 with the values like 50 and 50, we are gonna read the scale like group of pictures, value 0, value 0, and this is the scale X. For the scale 1 is group of pictures 0, 1. And it's clearly different from picture.scaleX. Though, a cool thing we can do is, first, if the group is more or equal to 1, that means we are gonna read those. So we can just make that we overwrite the picture we defined before. So now instead of referring to the actual RPG Maker picture, we refer to the container here. So we say the picture is the group of... we should rename this one. We are saying the term picture now refers to this container. Container of picture groups, we call it. But that's not over. Because now, to refer to the scale of the picture, we still don't use this. We use picture 0, 0. We are close because now we call it picture, but we are still far away because we don't have the same name. But we can do something a little more devious here. Instead of having an array of arrays, we can have an array of objects. So for example, this is the object of a picture. Like, how was it? Scale, no, I suppose scale X. Scale X is 50. And now we can just say, we can finally say picture.scaleX to refer to the scale of a picture. Though you can see there is a small difference, because even if we are so close, since now we are calling it picture.scaleX, because now we refer this group as picture and we have the parameter called scaleX, we still are missing the parentheses, since it's not a function. But you know the last trick? What if this was a function? Like, literally this. Empty anonymous function that returns 50. That's it, we did it. Now we can call the function scalex. And it's identical to the other one. So we made the code workable both if we are reading from the RPG Maker pictures or from a container on our own. Same way. This is called the magic of programming. Okay. Magic apart, except magician shouldn't explain its tricks. I wonder how can I define. I think it's doable. Okay. Then we saw the thing. Origin, how was it? Wait. Okay, it was still a function. Okay, we still need this empty. So, we saw it's this. It's simple. We need to do some tests with RPG Maker though. Because I'm not sure how doable it is. For example, we define test for. Can we read test? Okay, yeah, nice. Now test is an empty array. Good. Now the first value of test will be an object with scale x, which is a function that returns 40. Ah. Yeah, I wrote it wrong. Should be a semicolon. A colon, never mind. And now the value of test 0 is scale x function. So we can call test 0 scale x function returns 40. Can we change it? We can change it. So yeah, it's like storing values but with extra steps. And who doesn't love extra steps? All of these to have this work again either for default pictures or our storing of pictures. Okay. It's a problem for later if there is no default value for this. But I think we already managed this one here. Yes, we did. Great. Okay. We should do something extra here. Because this needs to go before. Because just in case there is no picture in the group here, we need to create it. And I hope it doesn't create a problem. Because let's make another test. How was it? Test is an empty thing. And now we say test 1. Undefined. Okay. Doesn't seem to create problems, yeah. Okay. So again, it works identically. It refers to the picture and checks if it exists the parameter or not. To be precise, we might reach an ethical dilemma here. I think we can just save. We can just use the picture ID that I receive here. So in the group 1 we draw picture 1, 2 and 3. In group 4 we draw 4, 5 and 6. Though we will leave some empty spots. Because the group 2, for example, will have the first 3 spots empty. Because there is no picture there. Also we need to delete them. That might create many problems in the future, actually. So we should do an extra thing. Because if we forget it, or in a way we don't delete the picture here and it stays, but we delete it in any other way, we need to recognize there is no picture anymore. This one should be it, because by default recognizes if the picture is off. I think this works enough, because if we initialize the picture, it won't read anything. I think it should be fine. Okay, so we have the picture here. Now, all the rest should be identical, except two things. First, let me lower the volume a little. Okay. First, we are not using the default way to draw pictures, or at least pictures that stay still. No. We don't draw the picture this way in any way, because this draws picture in the absolute way. Like if I say x is 200 and y is 1000, it will be drawn in those coordinates. But if it's in a group which is moved in a corner, the final coordinates will be different. That's why we don't want to draw it in an absolute way. And since we are clearly using the same parameter here, show picture, show picture, show picture, move picture, we need to create a way to draw them entirely. This setups them, and we need a way to draw them since, again, I don't want to repeat this thing. Let's see. I wonder if I can send the parameters like this. I think it's better to send them one by one, right? Okay, so function. Picture is a picture with parameters. This should be private. We can keep it like this. I can optimize whenever I want. Never. Okay, and I just have the parameters here. We have everything. The picture ID, let's see. Pic ID, origin, X, Y, scale, opacity, blend mode, duration, easing, group, and something else. Because if it moves, there's one less parameter, or one extra parameter in movement, but there is not the file. So we also need the file if there is one. And if the picture is moving, we don't need it. So first, the point is we are doing the same condition here. We are doing the same condition here. We should then have another parameter, another thing. We just need to tell if the picture is moving, right? Let's see. Well, we move the picture only if the duration is not zero. So we can use the same parameter here. So if duration is less or equal to 0, we just do our thing. We show the picture with the parameters, and we call it a day. Otherwise, the interesting stuff happens. The messy stuff happens, actually. Let's see. We show the picture on the layer with a file, origin, X, scale, opacity, blend mode. Easy. I think though, this will be different if we are drawing a picture in a container. Because again, we are not using absolute values. And things are getting messy even before moving the pictures. So, let's see. At least I'm glad I'm simplifying this thing, because before I was using the destination parameters with including a rel tag to tell myself it's relative, but yeah, we can make it a little more simpler. Okay, so we need here a control. If group is 0, we do the default drawing if there is no group. Otherwise, as I said, stuff gets messy. We need to draw a picture in a specific coordinate. So we can make another function called function draw is picture group. And we need to pass all the parameters again. Can I just say args? No, maybe here. I can say args. Does it work? No, I don't think it's the right one. It's not grayed out though. Never mind. Yeah, maybe we just put them Y by 1. Okay. Here again. So draw easy picture group. And we have the same thing we have here. All the parameters by default. We are passing a lot of stuff down, I see. Okay, now that we finally draw in a group. We need the information of the group actually. Because each group will be composed like this. Example group. It will have the scale X, which will be, let's say, well, default 100. Scale Y, the default again 100. And I messed up already. Because it should be an object. Do we want this as an object? I think we do. How do we refer to the elements? I think we can refer to the elements, though we need to make a group inside, like elements as an array. Though again, I think it might get a little too complicated. Let's see, will it create an error? Yeah, it does. If I say container of picture groups and instead of this we refer to this, like yeah, if I say group 0 and say elements, it will throw an error, because if there is no group, they cannot read anything. Wait, I didn't try. Wait. It might create an error. It might throw an error anyway, actually. Because if group doesn't exist, the picture ID tries to read something of undefined. So should throw an error anyway. Let's see. Test is empty. Now, if I try to read test number 1, it's undefined. But if I try to read the value number 3 of test number 1, it's an error. Okay, so at least there's an error in any case. That shouldn't be great, but at least we can make it a little more clean. I learned it with ambiguous wording, so maybe we can manage something. Okay, so now the example group is this. Scale X, scale Y. We can even do position X, position Y. Should be in the center of the screen, right? But for now we do random numbers. Something like this, right? Kinda. Okay, those are the information. We should also want the target X and target Y. You know what? We can fuse them in a single value. Yeah, we can make position X two values at once. Maybe it's easier to store. Also because we want a target pose, which is where we are gonna move the group, because the point of the groups is to move everything in a group. That's why they are called a group. Same with the scale. And target scale if you want to change the scale gradually. Okay, and then the important part, the elements. I should call it like this, right? Okay. Let me try again, because I don't remember if I can just call them without a string. Let's see. Test is how was it? Yeah, it's a container of x equal to 33 and y. It's not an equal. Wait, x is 33 and y is 12. Okay, it doesn't matter, right? Great, perfect. So we can just avoid the quotes entirely. I wonder if it makes it easier to read. Okay, a little better. Now, the good thing in this, I can add how many parameters I want, and the order doesn't matter anymore. With elements, it kinda does. But that's why we have the picture ID. Okay. What's the next step? Now we define the structure of this. Now we need to use it. Yeah, I know it was gonna get complex. I should add comments though. Definitely. First, I should have a backup of the game, so it's fine if I overwrite a little more. Wait, I realize we might want different ones. Draw still picture should be fine. We should also have everything here actually, but maybe it's better this way. Yeah, because it has everything. Blend mode, so for example if we have no duration, the default is 0. Same with easing, but group will always be present. But shouldn't be last. Is it a problem if I default it to 0? I don't think so. Because it will always... actually it is. It is. because I still need to define all of those before. I just need to define them then. So draw picture. After blend mode we have duration, easing, and group. There has to be a better way, but we are doing it. Shouldn't be too annoying. Same thing here. Opacity. Ah wait, this is show picture with. Okay, no, it's fine. Blend mode, speed, easing, and group. Now we do for the rest. Easy picture with parameters, speed, easing, group. And now here, for the actual moving picture, we need the file, which we are gonna have an empty one. We already have the easing, the duration, and the group. Okay. Now, instead of drawing pictures, it will refer to those. Which, by default, it does the same thing. But if it's a group, it will do something a little more complex, we could say. Okay, so this is the normal drawing of a picture. We are trying to see if it works now. Because for now we implemented only the drawing the normal picture. But I'm pretty sure nothing works perfectly, right? Also, why did I make that? Yeah, I could have implemented this better, I know, but what's done is done. Yes, I want to draw a simple picture. Let's see. Arrow Su. We can go with Arrow Su. In part number 2, file, Arrow Su. Let's see if it works. Huh. Did I forget? Yeah, I forgot. Oh, the picture is not showing though. Maybe it's out of screen. Reasonable since we defined nothing. 400, Y for 500. Has to appear now. It is our arrow. So it still works. What if though we define a group now? Well, that wouldn't work anyway because it will do this. Absolute nothing of cinema. We need to do it our way. How does the draw a picture in a group work? Huh. Good question. So we can return to the code that kinda did the thing. Here it sets up the frames, but this will be for look later. This one is already calculated. We may also want to define the starting position even. Yeah. Original X, original Y. Oh well. Here it calculates the change. We can do this later. The thing it does is... Does it... this is just to set up the movement. Okay, we have some stuff before. Huh. But logic. That's not logic, that's drawing pictures. That's drawing pictures. What was this for? Animation change. Okay, this is the action thing. I think though moving pictures kinda includes drawing a picture itself. Like this one here. And we have the math here. We love some math, right? The placement of the picture will be the x multiplied by the scale divided by 100, because the scale is in percent, plus the coordinate of the origin. We already saw those values, right? Here, which are easier to read. Position, target position, scale, target scale. Could we keep the scale in numbers like 1, 1.0? Should be easy. 100 though is better. Okay, so here we can finally calculate everything. So first we calculate final xy. The math is mathing this time. We have the x and we need the group. So first, group group position is simply, well, on quotes simply, it's this thing, pose. So container of picture groups dot pose, and we get both values. And same, we get the position of at the scale of the entire group. Because reminder, every group changes and every picture inside changes with it. So that's not really something easy to make. Okay, we have it. Group position, group scale. Now, to get a final x, it's the coordinate of, how was it? Let me remember it. I suppose that, yeah, the x multiplied by the group scale x. I wonder if I can just... I think it would be easier actually to do this. A group inside a group. So the y is 360 and the x is 900. This is even prettier to read. We can just copy paste all of those here. We don't need to swap those, right? Even if we do, there's still a way to work around it. And again, it's more readable. Okay, now we can just read x, y, and that's it. So we can have group scale dot x divided by 100 plus the shift of the entire group. So group position dot x, and the same thing for the y. You know what though, would look cool if this would be an object. We can just say, oh, the x is this. Meanwhile the y is the same thing but with the y. Y times group scale y, group position y. Okay. And now we can read the final chords dot x dot y. And we can draw everything in that position. Let's see. Game screen show picture, blah blah blah, everything here. Okay. The scale even should be calculated. We should do it here. Can we do it in another row? At this point, sure. Why am I doing an object? Can I just do variables? Huh. Curious. Yeah, I should just do variables, right? This kinda looks cooler though, in my opinion. I don't know. Yeah, this point doesn't make sense, right? Never mind. We just do one by one, at least this could make sense. And the scale is simple, right? It's the scale x multiplied by the group scale divided by 100. This should be it, right? Let's see. Yeah, literally that. And the rest is calculated before. Okay. So same for the y. Don't ask me why. Okay, we have it. So now final chords and final scale will be used in drawing the final picture. Here it looks if we are placing the picture for the first time. Otherwise it moves it. Okay, this kind of is important. But I think it's fun. Let's see. How do we manage it? We should have an extra parameter, right? If we draw a picture without even moving it, then yeah, it should be for the first time. Also, we are forgetting all the extra parameters, right? Like blend mode, duration, easing. Though if we draw it without moving, it's by default, right? Like if we just check if it's 0. Oh, Octopath music, yeah. Oh, thanks for the hug, I appreciate it. I need some comfort after all those programming. Because I also program for work, so my entire day is just literally programming. I'm gonna get crazy with all this programming if I didn't like it. Well, the best part to make you like programming is if you program with some attention. If you program in a hurry and nothing works, you get frustrated and you won't like programming. That's also a reason why I'm definitely against vibe coding, because like first you remove the fun of programming, but also second you introduce more bugs, so you completely ruin the fun out of it. I don't get it. Well, and third, you don't understand anything of the code you wrote. I want to be the master of my own code. I want the code to call me master, or something like that. I don't hear it though. I don't think this code still understands it. We might want to whip this code a little more. Whip, I mean, yeah, improve the code. People will misunderstand otherwise. Okay, so now after we set up all the information, we can actually use the normal drawing for the picture. You're my master back. Well, I wouldn't mind a maid tsundere actually. If I get the big money, I may consider hiring one. Yeah, I kinda like the tsunderes are on its own a paradox. Like, sweet inside and crispy outside. Though being a maid will even enhance the paradox even more, because it's someone that is paid to help you, to serve you, but on the other side is against you, so it's another paradox. I think that definitely improves the tsundere trope. Huh. That's why we saw a lot of Kurisu maid outfits. That's why I like them. Interesting. Yeah, now I remember there was in Blend S, like there was a maid cafe with roleplay, and there was the tsundere character. And that tsundere maid, yeah, definitely pretty peak. Okay, we defined all the information, so we can draw everything. So we just draw everything we have here. We draw by default the picture ID with the file, origin and whatever. Here, all the stuff. Except instead of the X, we use the X we calculated here. Final chord X, final chord Y, final scale X, final scale Y. Okay. And this should be enough at least for still pictures. Let's see if it works. Now, we say it's group number 2. Except we missed a detail, but could still work. Let's see. I always found the whole maid cafe thing completely dumb. Well, looks kinda cringy technically, because also I mostly feel sorry for who works there, because there will definitely be some customer which will break out of will try to break them out of character or just is mean. Though honestly, I don't think they are dumb, but neither good, because I never tried one. Unfortunately, it's only in Japan, so I never tried, but also there are no real anime girls, so I don't think it will even be on the same level. If there were anime girls, yeah, definitely pretty peak. Otherwise, yeah, maybe not the same thing if it's not. I'm sorry. No real anime girl. Literally a contradiction in a sentence. Too bad. Okay. What's the problem here? Real properties of undefined. Oh yeah, it's the problem we said before. Why 3? Did we say group 3? Group 2, huh? Ah, but tries to read the value number 3. Okay, so we just do, if it's in a group, we check if the group exists. So if group, let's see, I think we should do container of groups group. If it is null, undefined, then we need to create it. If it's already there, it defines the picture. Or no, with this regardless, because if it's empty, it needs to be undefined for this to work. Aren't you talking blasphemy? No real anime girl means no waifu. That's our life of waifu enjoyers. We need to be aware that no matter how much we love a character from anime or video games, it will always be out of reach in a way. So we can use them only to hit our heart, since we cannot have real connection. It will be something to push us forward to keep us going. Something to see the future with. That's why anime girls are for the future, and real girls are for the present. I tried to make it philosophical, but I don't know if I managed. It's like saying there is no fairy. Blasphemy. Blasphemy. Blast fairy, huh? Like making fairies explode, I see. Well, are there real fairies? Fortuna Street, I'm asking you, do you think butterflies are fairies? Is it another blasphemy? I think that fairies, after they finish their magical essence, become butterflies. At least that was one of my ideas. Butterflies aren't fairies. But are fairies butterflies then? Does the opposite hold? Fairies are not insects. Oh, really? You cannot spray them out of existence? Interesting. That's what Return of Ilium was trying to do every time. Interesting though, because the wings are definitely the one of a insect. Okay, if there is no group, we should just default to the first one. Though we need to experiment on another thing. Test is now a container of objects. The first object just has x equal to 3. So if you say test 0, we return extra 3. If we say test 1, it's empty, but if we say test 1 is equal to test 0, now test 1 has x3. But if we say test 1, 3, x is equal to 5 now, will we change that text 0? Yes, we do. Okay, they are linked. That's very unfortunate. We need to create them from scratch. Butterflies are just copying us. Oh wait, it's like the paradox of the chicken and egg. What came first? Fairies or butterflies? If I were you, I wouldn't let that fly. Butterfly. Okay, if the group is not defined, we just define it. So, we define it as an object. Literally like this. Copy paste. And we solved it. Easy. Let's see now if we create a paradox. A paradox bug, I mean. The bug is different. Line 103. It's going forward though. Maybe, no, wait. I love that it shows this one to me. Very convenient. Let's see. Scale. Huh. What am I missing? 105. Here. X is not defined. How? Properties of undefined. Group scale is not defined. How? I define it here. Oh no, wait. Yes, I forgot to select which group. Okay. Same with this. Okay. Should be enough. Let's hope now it doesn't create problems. Oh! Here it is! We have the picture! Before it appeared here, Now it appears here because we set that the base for the container is shifted. That's why it's in the lower here. It works. It's working. It's a miracle of life, or programming. I would say mostly programming. Now, this is for still pictures. What if they move? Yeah, we love programming, right? The unfortunate thing is that I already programmed this, but I'm reprogramming it to be more malleable for the future, which I think is a good idea. Also, I'm writing everything in a single plugin so I can share it around even. I might have lost. Where was I? Here. Okay, this is for still pictures. What if I want to move them? I like easy things today. So. No, wait, first of all, it's wrong doing it here. We need to do it here. You cannot impress me. I do custom plugins too. Wait, you do? You do also plugins? That's cool. I'm not sure if I'm not sure though how much to impress you. Because I definitely did some crazy stuff. Let's see. For example, I made a game with a single map with 72 variants of it. Because the map rotates. Freaking rotates! The map freaking rotates! Did you saw Nova play Artisio? The map freaking rotates. Okay, in Artisio the map, there were 4 maps, one for rotation. But in the other game I just had a single map without it, by calculating by scratch the rotation. Well, there's other stuff probably. Well, I just hope you will see the stream of this game from Nova because it will be very crazy, I guarantee. I guarantee. There's also a surprise for him. I hope he's not watching. Yeah, I kinda wanted to share this plugin because it's very practical. I did it like 2-3 months ago and I already used it for a project, which was ambiguous wording, where you can just place pictures with a little more ease. I can DM me if you want. No, I will do the pitch. Don't tell him, it's a surprise. There is a very bad joke waiting for him. What can I do? Ban me? I don't think so. Well, he can, but really ban the game? Yeah, I don't think so. So we need to reason a little on the logic now, because this should be the final drawing of the picture. Because when we move a picture, we still want to draw it frame by frame. Or I would say move it, I suppose. So this should be the final. I can randomly ban you and then pan you back multiple times. Can you pan back? Can you ban me? I have power here, just I'm not abusing it as Nova. I'm not abusing it as Nova, at least. For example... Yeah, though I'm not muting. I could mute it for 1 sec. I cannot mute it for 1 second, so never mind. Also, I don't like muting because it just deletes everything. That's unfortunate. Wait, I have something evil I can do. Count. Wait, there's a. Did an ad start? Yeah, an ad started. I wanted to play the ad myself. Come on, I wanted to play the ad myself. Too bad. No one can ban you from his stream. Yeah, but he cannot stop playing a game. Well, he can, but like that would be the end of the stream, right? So he's kinda forced playing it. I gained the right to have my game played. Huh, okay. We need to reason on this a little. Maybe we should start working on the other side. Well, first though, after we draw the picture, we should store the information. We need to store the information. Container of picture group. Container. No, wait. It was called elements. Okay. How do we do? We say elements, number, picture ID. Let picture info, this thing. So now we refer to an empty spot. And we can just or we can just do it raw. Okay, here. So now we refer to a way to store pictures in our group. And we can just define whatever we need here. And as I said here before, we need to define them in this way. Origin, scale X, scale Y. We need to do it. So, it will be a container which will have all the information. X needs to be a function that returns final chords X. I hope it's allowed. It should. Same with any other function. Y scale X and Y. Okay. Show a plush. Well, if I felt especially annoying, I could say, haha, I won't, but don't worry, I will if I find my yeah, never mind, I'm not okay, yeah, give me a second. Yeah, since I'm streaming with no webcam, well, I have a webcam, but it's not really set up for this stream, so we need to do it the other way. From my phone. Give me a sec. I kinda have some chaos behind. It's fine. Okay. From my phone. Let's see. Oh, I have the perfect one. I have the perfect one. Well, I don't know why perfect. Well, yeah, because she's a tsundere, right? A proud tsundere. Do you look at those? Wait, can we zoom it a little? No, it's fine. I think I already showed her, but like, look at her. She's. It's a big blush. Look at this. A hand, Waldorf hand for comparison. Well, if she can stand still or whatever. Like, look at this. Look at this. She's enormous. And the Kurisu plush I want, I think it's double her size? Huh? Okay, maybe I want it. Wait, no, not double, right? Maybe 50% more. Yeah, now I kinda want the Kurisu plush. I should buy it. It's still expensive though. She's saying, give me your soul! And no, that's the Kurisu plush. I hopefully will finish Respawn Banter before the end of 2027, so I should be safe. Otherwise, my soul will be in good hands anyway. Every time I say I took the frowned face of her, because like that just makes it perfect. Okay. We saw our plush. She wants your soul, so your other plush cannot steal it. That would be Monica plush at least. Nino or Kurizo are pretty chill usually. Okay, Nino maybe a little less, but yeah, the Kurizo plush is definitely chiller. Oh, I lost my music. Where's the vibe? I ruined it. Okay, I'm back. The music is back. Ah yeah, I was defining here all the object of everything. Scale Y, and that's it. Can we can just override, right? Yes. And we should save everything else though. Like origin, opacity, blend mode. And should be simple, we just repeat origin, opacity, and blend mode. I think it's everything, we don't need anything else. Blend mode, opacity, yeah, that's it. Maybe the file. But we don't need the file if it's already existing. Okay. That's good. Great. So now we draw the picture and we update the parameters. I hope it doesn't lag too much if I do this. Okay, there's nothing to test because it should be identical, but I still should test to see if something changes. Because I hate when something doesn't work anymore and I don't know where or when I messed up. Because I always mess up. It's fine. Now, we need to reason on the movement now. We need to move the picture. Here, if the duration is not 0, we just draw it. Though, if it is more than 0, we need to check again if the picture is in a group. If it is, we do again the same thing. We move the picture. Wait, how was the code? I forgot. We have something similar here. Move picture here. So if there is no group, we just call the normal event of move picture, which this time needs kind of those parameters. Let's see. So the pic ID, we don't need the name, origin, XY, blend mode, duration, easing, and we don't need the group. Okay, that's it. This is the default one, so we are trying right away to see if it works. Let's see. How do I move it? Well, I can just... Wait, this can be a little complicated because... Let me see. I can say easy picture and we move the picture tree to x equal 100 in 60 frames. Should work, but let's see. Huh, it's not moving. Why? Oh yeah, because I need first to draw it and then to move it. Still weird, it doesn't work. Come on. Again. Okay, it's working. The problem is I didn't specify a group, so it thought... So, or first we need to specify each time it's in a group, or we need to remember it's in a group. Which we can work on this later though. For now we just specify every time it's in a group. No. I have an idea. We can make var check memorize if picture is in group, which is another container that contains every picture. Now, if we place a picture in a group, we put it inside. The problem is, if we delete the picture, we need to remove it. We can just make that if the picture is undefined, then she will be removed from the group. She will be kicked out of the group, but basically undefined. And if instead we put a picture in a group, for the first time only, I don't think it's good. Yeah, here. And we just say true. We just need true and false, right? Yes. At this point, yeah, false. Or undefined. Does it change anything? I don't think it changes anything. So if it's a group defined, it's true. If the picture is not, the group is false. That means we need to do the check in between, probably. Let's see, here. Or even... No, we can do the test here. Let's see. If we see the picture is memorized, then it means it's in a group. Maybe we need to store the group ID here. For example, group. So if the picture is already in a group, we can say that the group is not 0, but it's 1 instead. We do one line. Okay. Group equal whatever it's inside. Okay. I wonder if it creates a problem if it's 0 or undefined. I think not, but why not check? So, temp equal undefined. Or we can just do if test is more than 0. Error. Huh. Also it's spamming pictures here. Yeah, because it's not defined. Huh. So we need to check if it's undefined. Yeah, we just need to check if it's undefined. So if it's not undefined, then we set the value whatever it's inside. Easy enough. Okay, now every picture will always be related to the group. Let's see. I'm not sure though if that counts. I'm not sure if that worked, to be honest. What if I say group 2 again? I wonder what happens if I set a wrong group even, but I don't want to try it. It doesn't move. Okay, this is confusing. Yeah, maybe I should have made a little more order with this. I really want to have breakpoints here, but I need some extra work, right? I thought this part would be easier, but I don't know why. I really don't know why. And I'm also... I still have some water. Great. So this doesn't work if the group is defined. Maybe because it doesn't read the right values. I really need breakpoints here. Would help a lot. For now we can do a console log. Let's see. A console log of picture. Let's see. Undefined, because we draw the picture for the first time. And now, undefined again? Huh? That's a scam. Why? Should be saved in... First, let's check this one. Empty and undefined. Yeah, because it's picture 3. Still doesn't save anything. It's like it's getting deleted. Maybe it's... maybe the problem is here then? When I delete it here. The only scam here is Waldorf. Okay, listen to me. How am I a scam? Tell me. The computer is always right. Well, yeah, you have a point. Programming is always fault of the programmer. Unfortunately. I think actually a lot more people should try programming. Because that kinda helps with the humility of persons. Because it's never fault of someone else. It's always your fault. So, yeah, I think it's a good practice on humility developing. Let's see, the problem I think is this one. Since it's, if there's no picture, it defaults it to undefined. And that's why it doesn't read the picture from the group again. Huh. I should do this one after, maybe. Yeah, this one should be after. Because here we reset the value if the picture is empty. And here... yeah, this doesn't matter. Okay, if there is a picture, it will set the value. We can do it before actually. So if it's undefined, it will default to 0. Let's see now. Oh yes, explosions, here we go. I wondered why there wasn't any programming course before the university. What do you mean? Because I studied on high school some informatic. there was some programming with C++. Kind of the basics, but there was still programming. Undefined again? How is it undefined? Oh wait. Because it might get a value from here. It gets the value from here, but doesn't work if it doesn't remember. And it remembers only after. So should we put this one here instead? No, because the group is maybe even before. Maybe even before? No, because if we draw it for the first time... No, but... Yeah, okay, wait. Maybe we need to change order. Because first needs to remember. Then... If the picture is not defined, then it defaults on the values. No, it's wrong, because it needs to default even if we read from the information here. We can just put a condition here, maybe. If group is equal to 0, or undefined, it does it here actually. We can do it before. So if group is 0, we just say that the picture is not in a group anymore. Should be enough. That's more than I even got before the university. Oh, that's... Maybe depends on your course, on your choice, because I did a scientific university. And I'm glad I went there because I definitely couldn't handle story, geography, science was kinda okay for me. But yeah, I couldn't handle story, geography, Italian, which is literature. And the worst one was art, history of the arts. I'm very lucky I didn't have history of the arts on the final exam, because the teacher was just so clement that even if I never studied, I never got problems with it. I just barely passed every year for whatever reason. I know maybe why, because I didn't study for the written tests, but I did decent on the drawing tests. It was a mix of history of the arts and drawing. And not like drawing, we just use a ruler, so... Yeah, not a ruler of a kingdom, a ruler like the one to draw. So I just had to draw straight lines. Maybe at the times we copied the architectures from books, but that's it. I can get an easy 8 or 9 out of drawing with a ruler, and then I get a 5 in my written exam, and I even out. Perfect, I would say. University, it was one of my main courses. Oh, where did you went for university? Because I went in university for... It was like a mix of programming and media. And some cinema in it. I know, it's absolute cinema. I had one in my hometown of informatic, but first I didn't really know, and second, after I knew, I'm still glad I didn't went to it, because there's informatic and informatic. Like, there is informatic which is only theory. I went to an exam once, I got 2 out of 30 in my final grade. 2 out of 30! That's when I realized, yeah, I'm glad I never went to a pure informatic university, because I love programming, the practical programming, not the stupid thing of needing, oh yeah, state machine which switches state. There is the theory, if it switches states in a X amount equal to the state number in this theorem, it explodes or whatever. I don't care. I want to do cool stuff like this. And also there was some, that's why I took the one with media, because I literally saw in an open day they were showcasing a game they made, and I said, they have you make games in this university, sign me in. Though they were a very small project, I didn't publish any of them. Maybe I should publish my last project, which I did 5 years ago. Wait, no, 3 years ago, like in the second to last year of the bachelor degree. It was a Unity project. I think I should publish it on itch.io as for filler. It's a game where you are careful where you project your shadows on the walls, because there are enemies in the walls. And believe me or not, that game had also lore. All the Waldorf lore inside. At least a very obscure fragment of it. It's an engine. Oh, no engineering. Oh, yeah, that's the one I was trying to avoid. Because, yeah, I love programming, but on the other side, I hate the theory. I hate it. Can I just write some code and tell you, oh, look at this? I don't know. I don't need to know who invented the bits and the megabytes. Alright? Okay, that's history. That's another thing. I don't need to know about the state of the machines. Okay, that's it. I think I made a game for the undercourse. Oh yeah, that's cool. I remember I did one as well for a course. I still have it on my phone. Wait. I still have it on my phone. I actually made two. One was for the university, and the second for the bachelor degree. This one is for the university. We did the project in 3 technically, but I was the only one coding, so yeah. It's just a rip-off of movies. It was a simple platformer made from scratch, when you can dash. Ha! And explode! Look! Ah, explosions! Yeah! While the other one was made for the bachelor degree, which we didn't really need to make a game, but I tried to find a loophole to have a game. It's a fitness app where you move your phone up and down, like you walk, and while you're walking you fight enemies. Look at this, I'm destroying this Gravitus. Yeah! You're going down! We won! And after you kill enemies, you can power up. And buy shields. To consume less energy, and then you use this. Extra bonus if I'm running! Oh yeah, I ran out of coin. Got it? I ran out of coins. Run. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, that was my project. And the peculiar thing of both of them is I worked in a group, but I was the only one programming. Cool, huh? Well, it's fair, because I kinda made all the project for them, but I'm not mad, because in other occasions they made all the project for me, so I kinda have equal karma now. Someone carried me on a project of presenting a project, of having a vision idea, something like, oh yeah, let's make an app for whales. Yeah, no, maybe I wasn't clear. Yeah, projects like we just talk about an idea but not do it. Stuff like that, I hate that. Like, oh yeah, we should make a museum where we show cans of sodas. Oh yeah, cool project. We will never make the museum. That sort of project. That's stupid. That's why I like more practical stuff. Or more like Creative stuff. What do we do again if we catch the star? You explode. Now you get some extra points, I think. For buying characters. Though I don't think it matters much since characters are very expensive by the for choice. What were we doing? I forgot. Yeah, this. We were about to try, and we didn't. Let's see. Undefined, first time maybe makes sense. Yeah, no, yeah, makes sense. But the second one? Undefined as well? No, that's wrong. Why is it wrong? Is the container now having information or... Wait. It has two parameters. Oh. Here there is the second, the other screen, or the other group. What about the memorize pictures in group? Okay, it's here. The number is here too. Why doesn't it say undefined? Let's see. Maybe the element is not here. 3. We have it. Opacity, blend mode, origin, X. The values are not saved though. I wonder why. Though it clearly exists. Why is there a problem? Huh. Debugging. I really want to have this thing on RPG Maker. Stop the code here. A breakpoint. I need to see how to do it later. Because I do it at work all the time and not being able to do it on RPG Maker is unfortunate. Let's see. It doesn't read picture. It doesn't write the value. Let's see. So since it's undefined, it should go through here. Let me try again, wait. Because I can kinda emulate step by step. Which is a solution, I suppose. Undefined and undefined. But it's here, so if I say container of picture groups, there is something. If I say container of picture groups 2, we have something. If we say, I got it. We got it wrong here. Because it's not an array inside an array. It's an array that contains an object which contains an array which contains an object. Easy, right? We need to say group.elements. And then we read the slot of group ID. And that should be it. That should be our bug. Let's see. So undefined makes sense. And now we have it here. It's still not moving. Ha! Why? Why are you not moving? We are so close. Come on, just move. You need to go to X100 in 60 seconds. We should console log what if it overrides the values on the... No, it's impossible, right? If we console log x, we will get the new x where we would be moving. So, x 400 and it's here. Now, second x 100. It's right, it's different. But it's not moving. Why? X is not null, so it shouldn't be overridden. Just in case we test it here. But I'm pretty sure it doesn't get overridden. $400 and 100. That's right. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm stupid, but I kinda knew it. Because we didn't program moving for pictures in a group. We only programmed moving for pictures outside of a group. Like if I remove this picture from the group and I move it, should work flawlessly. Oh, I said flawlessly on the first try. Like I said it flawlessly. It moves! Here! Easy! So it was simple enough. Now, we need one last step and maybe we are close to ascension. Or to finish the stream with something done. Let's see. Here we draw, let's see. Here we draw a picture with parameters. Here, if the picture is moving, if no group is normal drawing. If it's in a group, oh boy, it's the custom movement. Huh. Okay, how do we manage this? How do we do custom movement for pictures? Again, it's frame by frame. Shouldn't be too complicated though, right? Let's see, I already done it before on stream, we just need to replicate. Let's see. We have it, elaborate move picture for battle here. So, we need to do all the math. And this is relative math. So if we need to move 100 pixels on the right, we need to calculate the relative one. And the absolute will be elaborated later here. So here we just need to prepare everything. And call function draw easy pictures group or group loop. Move easy pictures group loop. This will be our main loop that as here every time loops. Oh, where is it? Loops in a request animation frame. I copied everything because, well, it's easy. So again, what does it do? Yeah, maybe we should do it from scratch. Maybe it's more practical. So, again, what does the function do? Each frame it calls a function. It calls itself. So every frame it calls itself to draw the picture one frame later. That's the point of the entire picture. How do I know the next frame? Heh, we need to calculate it. I wonder if we can use the technique I used elsewhere. Where, for now I will keep it like this, though. We are 2 hours in, but I feel like we still need some extra more. Come on, we are so close. I feel we are so close. We need to calculate the next coordinates. So, each frame we need to know where to move it next. So we need to know the time left. And the target destination. And the target scale, of course. Even if target scale usually is not that used. No, never mind, sometimes it's used. How do we know those values? They should be stored when we draw the picture for the... or here, in the information of the picture. Together with those, we should have the others. First, we need to get all the information we need. We just need the picture ID. And here, yeah, also the group. So in the group, the information ID, and here we have all we need. Let pick info, pick group info. And we have all the information we need. For example, we can just call it pick info. So we can just refer pick info time left, for example. Or pick info. Wait. We can target X. And oh, come on. Pick info target scale X. Stuff like this. Those are not defined, but we are doing it right now. So we just need those information to decide where the picture will be placed next frame to emulate a movement. So we calculated the next coordinates by having the... this uses a different formula. There's also a movement in transparency, good to know. Yeah, here it uses the starting position. We won't be doing that anymore. We'll be using a different method, which feels a little more natural, or I wouldn't say natural, more mathematical. Because if we... there is a mosquito here. If there are 10 frames left in the movement, though there is a problem that in this way we won't be able to do cool animations, like yeah, we won't be able to do the easing out, easing in. So yeah, maybe we need to store the starting time of or starting position of the animation. So yeah, we'll be doing the starting position of the animation then. We will be doing the same thing. So we store everything here. Pick info dot, and we create starting X, and it will be pick info X. Same with Y. Or I can even make an entire... You know what? since we were doing cool things, let's continue doing cool stuff. X and Y. Pick info Y. Yeah, this looks cooler, I know. Here it is, pick info starting point. We also need to define all the movement stuff. But this is simple. Pick info, target move, and we do the same thing. The X is the where we want it to end, and the Y is Y. That's a little confusing, maybe in the choice of names, but. And the last one, is it the last one? Target scale. It's definitely not the last one. Scale X, scale Y. We also need to store the starting information, right? Huh, yes, we do. Starting scale. Scale X. I feel like the mosquito is attacking. Oh well. And we also need the starting opacity and everything. This one is just a single value, which is pick info.opacity. As a note, this value is always there because you cannot move a picture without drawing it first. Even if you do it in the first command, it will draw it before. And here, pick info, target opacity. Wait, I realize we should do it even better. Yeah, we can do it a little more clean maybe. So, target is a container on its own, which has the value position. Wait, how was it? Here maybe? Yes, it works. It also has the parameter scale. Oh, hello Tunophilia, how it's going? Gamescom show just finished. Oh yeah, there was Gamescom. There was something cool? Or nay? We are here trying to extend our plugin of pictures by adding groups. I kinda programmed it before, but I'm extending the functionality here. Because before it was only limited to battles, and I made two plugins that are not compatible with each other, and that kinda was messing me up at the end. Or it's also an opportunity to rewrite them better. Here I'm writing a way to move pictures frame by frame, so I can control the movement even in the middle of the movement. Like this will be the target, define where I want the picture to be at the end. So opacity will be, I suppose it's just the parameter here, okay. What's wrong? Ah, okay. We need to do the same thing with the start. Pick info start. Pick info start will be an entire container on its own. First parameter is position. Oh, come on. I didn't copy it actually. Ah, come on. So I store here the starting position of the picture before the movement. Position, but same with scale. The cool thing is I I would not do this if it weren't for ambiguous wording. With that I learned even better to organize the functions like this, in objects even. Not a lot of cool games, but Gamescom show have always been approached with low expectations. Well, poor Gamescom, but I understand. We were working on the rework of this game. Especially I'm working on pictures for the battery itself. And I'm trying to be a little more flexible, so the plugin will be definitely used in future games, because I'm working a lot with pictures. For example, I used the bare-bone version of this one for ambiguous wording. It was the plugin to show the pictures during the selection of words, which is basically the same as programming it with RPG Maker code, but with some slight extra practicality that helped me save some time. Like, I don't need to define every time the opacity and everything. And I can use the same call to draw a picture or to move it. So we are defining the starting position to remember it for later. Okay. And the starting opacity. We have everything. The starting point, the target scale, it's already defined, the opacity as well. We need to define the time and the time passed. So pick info time is time passed, always 0, and time total, which will be the duration of the movement. Also, we may want to save the easing. Also, it's not unequal. The easing, yeah, needs to be saved here. Anything else? Blend mode? No, it's fine. We got everything. Good. Okay, so we got the information of the picture before the movement, the information where we want to move it, and the information of the movement. We have literally past, future, and present. Or time. I would say past, future, and the time itself. The present will be here. Oh, that's a good comparison, actually. Okay, so I get all the information of the pictures. We can also have... No, I think I can just refer to this one. So what do I want now? I want to know where to draw the picture on the next frame. How do I do it? Well, first, I suppose we calculate let current frame, which is pick info time total minus pick info time passed, which will always be 0 or more. And here we get a number. And now we know in which percentage we are. For example, if there are 20 frames and we are at 10, we are halfway. We passed 10 frames. So we can go with a percentage. Let percentage progress is current frame divided by the max frame. Again, time total. Yeah, because if 10 frames passed out of 20, 10 divided by 20 is 0.5. And we use this one as a percentage. We multiply this one on everything, basically. I use directly the pixie graphic for showing pictures in my game. Can quickly become difficult to manage everything. Well, I'm already using the default pictures. Again, I'm still using the RPG Maker pictures, but here I'm adding some extra practicality. Though it would be great to change it and just use pixie. I think the default pictures are easier to control because you don't need to be worried about removing them later. Well, you should, but I don't know. The feature is there, I'm using it. Also because if I need, I can just have some easing, slow approach, making it slower when it goes away. The feature is already there. That's why I'm doing refactoring. Ah, that's exactly for Pixie, I see. Yeah, I think I did use Pixie once for the project because there was a picture that shouldn't be affected by the screen shake. Which was harder to find, harder to find than I thought. Though there is another problem now that should also be unaffected by the screen zoom, but that's not really doable, so I should move that as well with the screen zoom to make it seem like it's not moving at all. Let an opinion again. What's with this eternal fight between you and fairies? Let an opinion. I'm asking you as well. Do you think fairies are related to butterflies in a way? Like, I had the theory that butterflies are just fairies that run out of mana and need to rest. Okay, we have the percentage progress. Now we just need to multiply this on every number. So let's see. Okay, wait, there is a problem. Because what if, for whatever reason, I apply two movements at the same time on a picture? That means if I say to move it in a specific spot, it will flicker between the two spots at the same time. So I should just obtain a direction to move it towards. Because if I say to move the picture left by 100 pixels and then tell the picture to move up by 100 pixels, it will move left. If I say the specific point where to move it, it will just teleport left and then up, then left and up. Instead, if I add the direction, it will actually move diagonally. We should try that later. Yeah, fairies are back to... Okay, I suppose I asked two different... the two opposite kinds of persons. Since there are fairophobic people around here, I'm going somewhere else. No, don't worry, fairies are very welcome. This place is welcoming everyone. But with everyone it also includes fairy-phobic people, so you're going to deal with that, I suppose. Don't worry, I'm neutral about those. Well, I kinda like fairies actually. As I showed some streams ago. Just for some reason there aren't enough fairy waifus in games around. I don't know why. I suppose there's Airi from Bravely Default, but it's a peculiar case. In any case, if you go away, well, thanks for coming. Have a nice adventure. Yeah, so in this way I just want it to move in a direction. So I can just have the diff movement, which will be the difference between starting position and end position multiplied by the current progress. So, pick info start x. right? Oh wait, should be a function. No, start position x minus everything target position x multiplied by the percentage progress. It's the same for the difference in scale. Pick info start position scale x, the target scale x multiplied by percentage progress. Oh yeah, wait, I should also include y probably. I don't know why I didn't put it before. I can just have the cool thing as before, right? Yes, here we are. X is this. Octopus music! Here we go. Okay, and for the y, it's the same thing. While for difference in scale, it's the same thing again. The difference in scale x is this, comma, and y is the same but with a little change. Okay. Last one. Diff opacity is kind of the same thing. Pick info start position. Oh wait, no, it's start opacity. Wait, is this a function? Does it copy the function? Wait. I need to try some tests because I don't know if it stores the function, the value, or the reference even. Let me try. We need to try. So, function test f is equal to, let's say, return 4. Yeah, I don't remember how to define functions anymore. Okay. Test f 4. Okay, note that if I say test f, it's a function that I call. If I say, let's say, test equal to test f, I say it's equal to the function. So if I say test, it returns 4. Wait, though if I say test2 is equal to test f function, test2 will always be 2, right? Because if I override the function and say now it returns 8, test2 will always be 4. Okay, that's all I need. It's all I need. It's a value now. It's a value. It's not a function anymore. Wait, wait, you can change. Wait. I never checked the options of the RPG Maker debugger, but it's a good system preference. I don't have the preference of dark. Okay, that's good. Way better. Thanks for making me realize it. Okay, that's everything. Yeah, now it's better. So now it only calls the value itself. Good. So now we are not calling a function anymore because they are not a function, they are a value. Scale. Wait, scale. Yeah, then if I say start, position x. Same with scale X. So I did it wrong. Scale X. Same here. I prefer by a lot white teams for my idea. Well, I think white is bad, black is more chill, so I always go for the dark mode. Some of my IT demons believe I'm a demon. Well, I don't know, I never saw you, so I actually... I can never be sure, you know? Always be safe. But I think we are not, actually. I think you're not. If that can reassure you. Start target. Good. Now the opacity. Start opacity, right? Yes. And same pick info target opacity as well. Multiply by the percentage progress. Now we will have finally everything that we need. So all the information that will change in one frame. In one frame the X will change by 1 pixel. The scale will not change because the picture doesn't increase, and the Y will change in -2 pixels. That's all we need. So now we need to draw it. So we need to do draw easy picture group, and we draw the picture with all the parameters. Pick ID. The file is not there. Origin is always there, right? No. We need to get it from the pick info. Is it stored somewhere? Here. Opacity. So pick info opacity, right? Okay. Oh no, wait. No, not opacity, it's origin. The opacity is changing. I don't know why the teams keep you awake. Well, if you program at night, then it will... Do you change them or... Because, okay, I suppose keeps you awake then as well, but... I need to sleep after. Here the X, so... how do we do it? We do diff. This is the difference move. We need to get the final movement. We can just do this, right? Pick info X. That's how it works, right? Yes. This is the current text of the picture. Now wait, we need to update the value though. You do it here. Great. So we have we take the current text of the picture and we add the movement of each frame. Though now I see that you don't need to calculate this each frame. But at this point, sure. I don't think it would lag if I do it every frame, right? Even for multiple pictures. And we add difference of movement for X. Same for Y. What's the problem? Did I mess up something? Yeah, the comma here. Okay. Now, for the scale. The scale X is pick the original scale of the picture plus the difference in scale, the X. Same with Y. Then we need opacity, which is the same. We get the current opacity, and we sum the difference of opacity. Okay. And then we get the classic blend mode, which will just be the default info. Duration, which we don't really need to specify. The easing even we don't need to specify actually. We should delete them, though later update the function that calls it here. Okay. Now, we don't need to call anything else. We need to define the group again. Group. Okay. We should add an extra information because no, we don't need to set anything else. Oh yeah, maybe here, because we may want to move it instead of drawing it for the first time. So we need to say something to tell this one to move it. I would say just not specifying the file. I'm just saying -1. So, if file is not -1, or yeah, sure, if it's not -1, you draw it as a normal human picture. Is a picture even human? No. Otherwise you move it, which is the same thing. Move picture. PKD, there is no file. All the rest is the same, except you also have 2 extra parameters, which is the movement time, 1 frame, and the easing, which we keep the default one. You can even omit it, maybe. Okay, I'm not sure it works because, okay, and at the end here it updates the values. I don't think it works because I don't know honestly why. Let's update with the parameters. Picture ID group. And what else do we need? Could be everything. No, we are missing one thing. We need to remove we need to set a end loop. We need to say it's over. So, if pick info time, let's see, if the time passed is more or equal than duration, it's over. If time passed is less, or we can say equal of the total duration, time total. If it's less, it goes on. Otherwise, it stops. Also, before going on, we need to increase the time passed. Like they say, 1 second has passed. Okay, we count 1 by 1. Anything else? At the end it erases it, huh? Ah, if transparency goes 0. Let's not do it. Oh, I should maybe. After it stops, after all. Yes, actually yes. Why not erase the picture? I hope it doesn't cause problems. I probably will. Never mind. Okay. Finger very crossed. Could work now. Could. I don't know, never works first try, but let's see. It's the picture and... Yeah, it's not moving. Did I forget to call the function? I think I did. Yeah, I definitely did forget to call it. Okay. Just adding it here, maybe we'll solve it. Let's see. The picture ID is right, and the group value is right. Let's see. Finger crossed a second time. Picture is here and... Okay, we have something more. At least it's starting. Time total not reading. Undefined. Where? 137. This one is undefined. Peak info, time total. Why? Peak info is the container of pictures group element ID. Oh yeah, the group 2. Element 3 was it? I got it right first try. Well, I can't remember. We have all the information. Where is the movement? Wait, did he not save it? I don't think it saved it. So we need to store it on the effective thing. Okay, this will just make those 3 longer, it's fine. I thought it always saved on the top of the thing if it's an object or array. Let's see. Please work. Okay, it's different. Definitely different, the error. 110. Picture not defined. Oh yeah. I maybe need this line. Okay. Though the error was before, now we are regressing back. Time total now not right again. Maybe the problem is the same. 137. Yeah, the problem is the same. Let's see. Did I find this wrong? No, I don't think so. Let's see. Test equal... I already have it saved here. Okay, now test dot value equal 3. Test now as value. Okay, then where's the problem? If it works. Here I do container of picture group element. Huh. I literally add other information to the container. Am I giving that to the wrong container in a way? Let's see. Container of picture groups. Let's see everything. It does those two. 0 doesn't contain anything. And this one contains 4 elements. Well, only the 3 one exists. And that is not what we created. Why? What am I missing? Pa-pa-pam. This one should be a permanent addiction. Let's try again. Manually. Now. Let's read it. Here, it's saved. Start. Before it wasn't though. It's not like it's not running, or maybe it has the wrong numbers. I don't get it. What am I missing? Maybe duration is not defined. No, it's here in the call. I don't know. I just want I just want to make it work and stop. But I feel like I'm so close. I just need this to work. Let's see. Console log pick info. And this should be enough, right? Please. Okay, and there is here, but let's see. Okay. It does the start and the target. Wait. Kinda shows the global value of it though. Not the relative one. Let's see, X. Doesn't say what the value is. Maybe it's because it's a function. Well, let's see. Element 3 dot x. Wait. It's going overload. Or it's like going crazy. There's another bug. Glad I saw it now though. Pam 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 pam. Still, it doesn't load. It doesn't save the information. Oh, I get it. I get it. Do I? I think I get it. Yeah, I think I get it. Because it overrides all the information here now. It overrides the information. I need to do, if I draw a picture, I override everything. Otherwise, I just update the values. That was the problem. So this is the pick info. Now we update every value. Wait, we don't need to copy. Okay. Wait, there was a cool technique, right? What was it? Middle mouse click something? Shift. Yes, it is! Shift middle mouse click. Look at this. One more. Come on. Ah. I see. Pick info dot yes. Incredible. Though we need. Oh wait, let me do it again. No, doesn't line up properly. With Alt then. No. Then what? Manually, I see. We can do insert though. Okay. Little better. Should work now. We update them only if we are moving the picture. Otherwise we reset every value. There's an error though. Where? Ah. Yeah, I forgot to remove this one. Okay. Please work now. Well, I don't think it will. Because we still have the problem of the coordinates, right? Do we? Yeah, we have the problem of the coordinates. Let's see. Yeah, the X is 93,680. Definitely a problem. So, the problem probably is in defining the starting position before the movement. Here. But I get it. Because here when I save the picture coordinates, we store the coordinates where we draw them. Now we need to store the coordinates where we are told inside of the group where to draw them. So simply X and Y. Not the final values. Just the value that we got before, considering the scaling of the group. Okay, should be it, right? Same here. Nothing else? The opacity? No, it's fine. Yeah, it's not compatible with opacity of the group, but I suppose that's a minor problem. Also because images on top of each other don't make for a good opacity anyway. Let's see now. Please, should work. Finger crossed so I can go to sleep. No! Wait, let me see again. And we sleep even tomorrow. We go to sleep tomorrow. Picture is here and let's see now. Well, a little less further off, but still wrong. Now, why? We should check the difference in move. Diff move X. Please tell me what's wrong. Huh. Okay, it's looping one extra time, but that's not an issue here. I see the problem. It's not getting the... It's not getting... yeah, it's not getting the movement of each frame. It's getting how much it needs to move. The percentage progress is wrong. Should be 1 divided by the time total. Should be a fraction. Should be 1 divided by time total. Here. Also another issue, we stop it without the lower and equal. Okay, we stop it 1 frame before. Now should work. Please. Yes! Yeah! Should it go on the right or... Maybe one last thing. It should go... Let's see. Yeah, X100. It definitely should go... No, it's the right way actually. It's the right way. Because also it moved 100 compared to the group. Though, there's a problem. because it's drawn in the group in the value 400, so it should still go on the left. What if I say minus 100? It moves more, so I suppose the movement is inverted. Start position, target position. Yeah, we need the information to go to that position. So it's the opposite. I'm inverting. I could do minus plus, but like I can do minus thing plus the other one, but would be awkward, so no. We are just swapping them. I suppose even for opacity, we should do it. And for opacity, we are done. Okay, let's see the magic and we stop. Please, work, please. Yes! We did it! Just to move an arrow! Look at this! 3 hours of work for this! Oh yeah! I love it! I love programming. Well, to be fair, that's not just this. Because, okay, we managed to move a single picture, but we set up an entire all the ground to manage multiple pictures at the same time. Like with this, I'm not programming this today, but with this we can have all the pictures we want, and with a command moving them all together while they are still moving. Like move them on the left and say, oh, move everything up, so they move left while still moving up. It's a way to have like to not be bound by a single movement, because especially I want for the I had it here. Ah, never mind. I wanted a small idle animation for the protagonist, but it's impossible to keep it while also everything else is moving. So just to have asynchronous movement, if we can call it that. Okay, that was enough, probably 1 hour of extra programming I wasn't expecting to do. So, to end, we should try to raid. We can go to Pleasant Peasant. Okay. That's everything for today. Tomorrow there will be no stream. We'll be streaming the day after tomorrow. No, on Wednesday. The day after tomorrow. And next week we are gonna continue with the development. We are still gonna work on the programming, but this time should be easier because we already have the grounds. But we need to complete this thing. I need to add some comments, but other than this, we are fine. Thanks a lot for coming by. This was well, kinda some work, but it was worth it. Thanks again for coming by, and we see ya whenever happens.